In the comments I said I'd never do that, but then I actually thought about it. I've done it before. I've demoted a kid, okay, but it was a kid who needed discipline, right? The kid stole a medal off of our medal wall, right? He thought it was cool and shiny, 8-year-old kid, right? Stole the medal, took it with him. We caught him. He was a gray and black belt at the time. Became a white belt on the spot, right? In front of everybody, right? Demoted him, didn't do the demotion process in front of everybody. I did that in the office, but he walked out to class in front of everybody wearing a white belt, walked out of the office, had to eat that one, and had to explain to everybody that was asking what the heck's up with that. I was on him to explain it. But that was just for a little kid. And by the way, I gave the kid his belt back 4 weeks later or something, like short time later. I gave him his belt back because he clearly learned a lesson. The kid saw something shiny and took it. It's like it was an opportunity to teach him a lesson, knowing darn well that it was kind of minor and that we could have a chance to teach him and he'll be fine. And that's what we did, right? So, but that was with a kid, man. I would never give somebody a belt myself and then demote them. If anything, I mean, every instructor, if you've been doing this long enough, there's belts you've given out that then 3 weeks later you saw the person sparring and you were like, whoa, dang, dude, come on, you're supposed to be looking better than that. And so you might think thoughts like, dude, I should have waited three more months or something. But you don't demote them. You just leave them 3 months longer at that belt or something, right?
Hoping that wasn't me.
What, that I looked at?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, might be. But no, sandbagging. The other one that came up is if you've won, say, Worlds twice in a row, is that sandbagging?
I mean, it sounds like it to me. That definitely meets my criteria for belting somebody, but at the same time,
competitions aren't everything for grading, but I mean, it's got to have some sort of influence.
I mean, it depends on the instructor. If the instructor puts a little weight in competition, I do. I put some stock in that.
And it matters the level of the competition also. I would
said
imagine.
Worlds.
Yeah, if you're winning Worlds,
right.
that's a statement.
That states the level right there, unless it's like some random Worlds tournament that they have, right? They have the Worlds tournament that's got competition in it, the IBJJ F1, and you go do that, go win that, or go do an ADCC or something, go win that. Worlds, obviously, your next level. And I don't know who would deny that, right? I mean, if you have somebody who's winning that at that level, they're ready for the next belt, even if they've only been that belt for a little time. I think it's possible to fire through belts.
Yeah.
It is a thing. Right? I was trying to explain to a student today who was asking me about the criteria for a blue belt, a white belt kid was. And I was just telling him, like I was giving him the averages, couple years as a white belt, right? I'm giving him the averages, but I'm knowing in my heart that it varies. And I even told him, I said, go win Pan Ams, bro. I said, you want a blue belt like really bad? Go win Pan Ams in the adult division, and you'll probably have a blue belt on the podium. That's just how I roll, right? But I don't know if I would call it sandbagging to not promote somebody on the podium, letting them win it twice seems a bit much to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the things that he was saying is he had to fight with IBJJF because they have a 2-year minimum.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
And so he was winning all the competitions, and he's like, let me just move up.
No doubt that's not sandbagging.
Yeah.
Clearly that's
and they would not let him. So
did they change that rule yet?
They did. So if you win Worlds, I think in the adult division, you can move up
quicker
after that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
makes sense.
Any other like prestigious awards, if you win gold, you're eligible to move up. But that was recent. I think they did that last year.
They changed that rule?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That you could actually promote, but you have to win, right? So it's not like you get 4th place.
I think I was a white belt or a blue belt back when I watched a purple belt get demoted to white belt.
Whew.
Right, and I remember being shocked as shit. Yeah. I was shocked. And I didn't know he was a purple belt until I rolled with him, and I was like, you're not a white belt, dude. Like, seriously, I was a white belt, maybe a fresh blue, I don't remember. But I was pretty decent. I won Pans as a white belt, so my level was good for a white belt, right? And I remember rolling with this other white belt, fresh, crispy white belt, too. The thing still had its new folds in it. And he smoked me. And I remember telling him, like, you don't feel like a white belt. What the heck? And he told me, he goes, oh, well, I just got here. This is my first day. I talked to your professor. It was a Gracie Baja back in the day. and the owner demoted me to white belt. And I was like, what? What, bro? Why? That's such a disrespect to that guy's old teacher.
Yeah.
Disrespect to him. I mean, how about you roll with them first? Right. I mean, because I'll admit, I've been disappointed with other promotions I've seen, right? I've thought, no, wait on that guy, right? I've thought that before, but that guy could then come to my gym, and I'm not going to demote him, dude. I'm going to leave him a little longer, catch him up, try to do what I can to cut the learning curve, right, and get him back, get him to where we're at. You know, I'm not going to demote him, though. Like, to think that without even rolling with him to see if he's good or not, you would demote him to white belt just because he got his belt from a different professor or whatever is just terrible, man.
We've had guys come in and, just wear whatever belt you achieve. They'll be like, well, I haven't trained in 7 years or whatever. It's like, just, you are where you are. Like, you earn the belt, wear the belt, and however long it takes you to get to that next level is what it takes.
That sounds like a self-demotion, right? That's different.
It is.
I'm not talking about those.
No,
I'm talking about purely a demotion that you're like, well, okay, I guess, like, you know, like that poor purple belt guy. I've had guys come into my gym wearing white belts that told me, oh, I'm actually a blue belt from back in the day. And I always encourage them to wear their blue belt. I'll always say, oh, bro, you know, well, do it for your old coach that gave it to you. Wear that blue belt. And sometimes they'll refuse. Sometimes they'll say, dude, I'm terrible. Like, I'm terrible. And I'm not going to make a guy, right? I'll say, fine, you want to start over, bud, that's on you. But don't tell your coach I did it, because that's disrespectful. I had a guy come to me and tell me he was a blue belt, he was wearing a white belt, and I said, well, wear your blue belt. And he goes, oh, can I? Cool, thanks. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, I wore it at this other gym, and they made me a white belt down the street. And I was like, what? And he got it from Dean Lister. You gonna go disrespect a Dean Lister promotion, man? Go tell Dean Lister that guy's not a blue belt, you're crazy. Yeah, right. Come on, man.
Luke says, do you guys think that time should be a factor in promotion?
It's an absolute factor. Yeah. What circumstance would it not be?
If you were like a
phenom.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking about if you have like a BJ pen or something. Tearing through the belts.
Like I said, it's not going to be common, but you're going to get a BJ pen every now and then. You are. You're going to get a phenom, and I don't believe though they should be held back by time restrictions, right? No, I don't think they should have.